Okay, so this is a mini commentary on a POV of CM5s, on what is going on in every room. So basically in Tecton we're gonna have two people with BGS go manually to this tail and then to the BGS tail. We also have three people going to the mall tail which are gonna get horned and they go to the mall tail. So as first of all we start the room facing the west so we can span click and we will enter like untick. And also for this row we're gonna do one mall and 5 side and then step back. For the horn I like doing the horn in this tail and then dropping the brew or whatever one tick after so I can pick it up. As you see we maul instantly. The other people are gonna also maul our BGS when they get to their tail. We also have some clawers which will change like the ticks you're on. But for our row is only maul and side. We can also use ember like one time, but I don't bother with it too much. We go pick up our brew that we dropped, and we also drop like something close to the door so we can enter fast. It's especially important if you're doing a crab, but right now we're doing far, so we can be a little bit late. As you see, they have to be as soon as the loading line appears, they enter. If you're low, you can sweet up or maybe send a couple doses. And they do 45. The prepper is gonna ferry the pots, which are uh, now we drop something on this tail like different from the pot, so it doesn't mixes. And we're gonna do one sip of overload, one sip of enhance on this row, and then check our brew. The prepper is gonna sip the enhance and also sip an overload, and the one he sip is gonna drop on this tail as 3 dose that as a crosser we're gonna pick up. Everyone else doing crabs is also gonna do overload enhance except for the chinner that is gonna do only overload and pick up the rebite. The rest of the rolls also have a similar, some of them have, the chinner also has to like sip to pick up the rebite, sip a brew. The others don't really have to pick up. So we sipped our brew, picked up the overload, and now we go to the crab, melee crab. We also use discharge on this one, so we get a little bit of spec back, and that will be nice like for the ultor. We'll try to get another one there. We got to discharge. Now for Ice Demon, we just go to this tile first. We don't hit any scavs. That prepper is the one that's gonna be scaving. The rest not really. So what we do is this yellow tail, we drop 2 items there, 2 potions preferably, and um, and then one tick after we're gonna click the tree, click tinderbox and click tree to get instantly into chop cycle. So as you see here, I drop, click tree, click tinderbox tree, and start passing towards the ice demon without losing the chop cycle. The goal is trying to be like above 20. So right now we're above 20. We finished the sub cycle. If you're really late to the chop cycle, it's fine to do a little bit less, but that's if you're like really late. Everyone deposited on a different light, and now we're gonna do a little bit of an overchop because we have to go back for the juice since it's an untradable. But some people can overchop here and 2 people go pick up. Also it's fine, everyone just goes picks up like their own stuff. Just depends what the team are doing. Now we deposit, uh, before you go pick up you deposit whatever you're not gonna need. So maul, pickaxe, horn, salve. If you're another role, you could also deposit the Avernic, but in this role we need the Avernic for the Emberlane. So we deposit those 4 items and go pick up. As you see, other people are picking up stuff, so I don't have to pick up much. If you pick up stuff, you drop it on this tile, so people can get their stuff back. As you see, they're dropping. Also, we start on this tile, so everyone is DD'd and he throws as range hit for the vangs. So you tank one hit with vang, and then we like scatter around. I'm missing the lockpick, so I pick up the lockpick. It was dropped. And now get ready for shamans. We start on TCB first hit and then tbow. Also remember to swap back to liber if you used ultor for Ice Demon. So it's the CCB, um, Thrall, Discharge, and Search Pot. Also for cross, I like doing one tbow and then like go tag the shaman over here. The other rows can do maybe 2 tbows unless it's like really low HP. Also, I like using these tails to not make a jump while you tag. And Prepper is gonna tank over here, the first one and the third one. Cross is gonna tank the second one, and the other 3 rows are gonna stay from max range and just hit it, not get tagged. And also avoid overkill if you're over here. If this shaman gets low, let the tankers finish. So it's still high. Now it got low, so now they just start like going to the other one. I finish it, and this one is already started like with DPS there. Then we finish. For here you don't have to pick any seeds. If you're prep and chin, you pick up Buchu to plant. So now we have to pick some bios to divide the overload as a crosser. But you see, chin and prep are each they say which one they want, like north or south, and they plant in one each. The 2 surges don't do anything, so they are on tick to go far on vanguards. Also, we organize the inventory to start vanguard. This is nice, and we can also sip sweets, and if you have brew you can also sip like at Brutus or something, but keeping in mind the 15s. Now now in the first down, cross and prep are gonna insta CCB, surgers are not gonna spec, and chinner is gonna do 1 shadow and then 2 times claw. So as a crosser, you basically do your CCB. If ranger is in front of you, you switch to side. If ranger is not in front of you, you do shadow. Also for surges, they do shadow. They do shadows same if ranger is not in front of them. If ranger is in front, they do side, and the prepper the same. He does the not, well, not the same. He does a insta CCB like cross. If the ranger is in front of it, it does side. If it's not, it's shadow. So we do that. This ranger is in front, so we do shadow, and chinner is clawing. As you see, everyone else is on the melee shadowing. Now after the first down, we go ranger. The 2 surges are also gonna go range. The prepper is gonna go melee. As you see, prepper melee. Chinner is gonna go mage. And as cross, you're gonna be the main ranger, so you don't have to hybrid as much. The two surges have to hybrid more than you in theory. If you see if it's like about to reset, yeah, hybrid a little bit. But the main thing is sizing. Now the two surges have two more CCBs, so depending on HP, they start sending. As you see, like it was good to send there. Now we do a little bit more damage and we send the other one. There it is. And now we keep sizing. Not, they are good to kill now. Maybe a little bit of shadow needed, but pretty good. Here, maybe TG would be good to hybrid there because the ranger is a little bit higher than the rest, so hybriding would be not bad. You're also gonna be the as you see the TG is hybriding. The prepper dies when the vanguards get low because he's gonna go prep. And as crosser, you're gonna finish this ranger. The the TG picks up melee vanguard. Chinner picks up major. Crosser is gonna pick one brew, one restore from the ranger, and Entangle is gonna pick one restore from ranger. Now switch back to light bear. Also use ultor for vanguards, but use up to light bear for thieving. And yeah, you pick a color. Just like do your full color, your full path before you do the first deposit. If you're late, maybe you can skip like a chest or something if you're really late. So we finish our color. We do the first one, and then after the first one, everyone picks like a 4 chest cycle over here, even over here, over here, over here. So you just camp those 4 chests and keep saving until if you're close to the chest, like here or here, until 115. If you're far away from the chest, here or here, you wait until 110. So when it's 110, you can start running. But if you're close until 115, you start running. So it's getting pretty close. One more chest here, and we send. Zip enhance, that is gonna be on the chest. And get ready to bank. As a crosser, you bank the Amperlight and we pick everything else that we need. Since we're gonna insta start, we need them all. Only the crosser and the prepper insta start, so the rest of the rows don't need it. Um, Also, if you're like other rows, you can bring pots except Entangle. Entangle has to pick vespula, so don't bring pots. Now we have a brew and restore from the vanguard. We could get a brew or a restore depending on your preference. For a crosser, with more, if you pick a restore, you can do like the whole vespula on restore and don't worry about enhance. If you only pick one restore, you can use up to like 3 doses of restore and then you have to do vespula on enhance. But the brew is nice for eating at rope if needed and being like high HP at rope. In this part is good like to suit up. Also good parts to suit up on the way to vanguards. You switch, or like in general when you have downtime. We do one shadow and then CCB and then back to shadow. Shadow on long range, the first hit at least. And then yeah, just don't lose ticks on this part. Death charge, nice for Vespula potentially, but minor as a cruiser. Also, we click on this tail because if you enter from the north side, you're gonna save one tick. This is really only relevant for the cruiser, but it's nice to have the like being used to it. Now we switch up, sweet brew, sweet brew. So we're high HP to cross. One restore those to have some stats. And I like being in full range except for Inferno and Slayer Helm to be more tanky. Now the rest of the rows, as you see, they banked, so they get some supplies depending on row. Now for crossing, crossing doesn't hit the chest by the way. Now for crossing, you wait until you select the chin animation. We saw it there, and we can start crossing. Um, he's gonna only hit two because they were not all together, but since it was like a pace run, I sent it. You can potentially die here, especially with no brew, but since it was a fast run, like there's the odds for dying are not super high. I didn't have a brew, so it's a little bit more scary. If you have a brew, it's pretty fine. Now we wait until we have the spec to 70 to above 65, and we can switch to ultor then when it's above 65. Ultor for guardians. Every role that has ultor, use it here. And since people hit the chest, they will have pots to drop. You can like pick up as needed. I need a brew here. You have to leave one inventory space because to equip tbow you need that inventory space. So you cannot be full. So yeah, also for guardians, we're right now on the same tick. If you happen to not be on tick, you if people are on this row and then you attack from here like this and this row, you're not gonna pick at each other. So that's a way to not lose ticks. This works the same on this row and then attack over here. On this tile over here, this row, or over here and this row. So right now these are the tiles I was mentioning. We don't want to overkill, so we're already switching to the next one and let like not too many people finish. Only one or two. We use a roll here also for overkill. You can also maybe use a discharge to be at 100 here. And for Basa as well, discharge and throw. We do we do Basa tech. I like summoning my throw in this tile, so the throw is close to Basa. If if you don't enter the room as crosser, you have to summon the throw. Well, you would have to go close to the Basa and summon it, or summon it from far, but we'll lose a little bit of damage. We enter this in tbow and CCB, all rolls to tbow and then CCB, and keep tbowing. On the last hit, you can use accurate because it gives max hit, and search bot as well after you CCB here. In this way, in this run, also switch up, maybe use a Brusip. 70 HP for example is like a good HP to start boss mystics. So now when you enter, there's sometimes mystics over here. It's nice to tag it so it doesn't run around and run over here, because over here it loses time. So we wanna kill the ones over here and run and then get to the one. Remember to gesture here as a crosser. You're gonna be the main finisher because you want the gesture for the horns and stuff. You also are gonna CCB here. Um, so yeah, if you're not a crosser, when the mystic gets low, you get off the mystic and go to a new one to let the crosser finish. There he got nuked at 300, so it was hard like to tell that that will happen. We got the gesture though, so we got enough to CCB. So we CCB a mystic and then go back to this to tbow. We finish. Oh, that one got over. That one got killed. Now we have to get this discharge. We have this discharge still alive, and we got it there. Also, usually in mystics, the overload is gonna run out, so be ready like to call out unit overload in certain time. But this was a fast run, so we run out of overload on what to do. Now for muta, throw and discharge when you have it. And be like at least above 50 HP if you can, because it can hit that. But always try to hit on 15s. I forget to keep calling that, but yeah, you wanna like to hit on 15s as much as possible. So you stay max stats, but healthy. You do one tbow, then horn. The CGSer is gonna do two tbow and CGS. And the rest of the people are gonna be on this tail, leading, not interacting with the horn. Also, enhance is gonna get dropped, so you sip the enhance. The only person that doesn't sip enhance is the person that is gonna pick overload enhance from big. I think it's usually Entangle. Now we just finished this. I think I'm ready to eat there on a 15, but here it doesn't really matter to eat to be, because you have it was about to be dead, and you have all this walking or running phase to it. Now here you could, if you're like a role that is gonna pick pots, you could uh, like chug a brew, restore before your 15s, or be crosser. Since I'm insta starting, I'm like a little bit more cautious on doing that. So I switch up, maybe a brew sip, or a little bit more cautious because it's potions that are gonna enter the home. For the other roles, they can just get new ones. Now we're insta starting cross and prep, and we go to the middle tail. I cross horns there, and then we maul. Also mage throw, horn there, and we go over here to like make the head instantly turn. Need someone on melee. And then we just mage. Now the chinner should send them all for 3. If the chinner misses, basically cross and prep are sending the horn maul, so that's 2. Then the chinner sends. If he misses, the chinner backups the first time. If the chinner backups fails, the prepper can send. And if the prepper fails, as a crosser you don't backup maul because you need spec for horn and maul. After 3 mauls, then the BGSers start BGSing. The first BGS should be Entangle because TG is gonna have, it's not gonna be 100 because of the CGS. Now instead we switch to melee gear and melee throw. If the person is burning, the chinner is burning, give him some and go like over here. It's nice to just go instantly over there to just give the chinner that might be burned. Also, as a crosser, you instantly start and you don't have many supplies, so you have to like keep picking up stuff. If you're if you have a lot of supplies, you just like in other roles, you just drop them for people to pick up. Now, what I did there was sip and overload. Okay, here, I guess here. What I did here was sip and overload in between phases so I can overload triple brew restore and start with high HP for the fight, because if you overload mid fight it's like a little bit more annoying and more probably to possibly lose some DPS. So now we horn. I tried to evade a hit there but I didn't do it correctly, so the head didn't turn. And the Chinara sent Desert Mole. It's good to BGS now. Also, the person that is a melee hand is the TGR. The Entangle is running, but in phase 3 the Entangle is also gonna be a melee hand. The person running the mage or skipping mage is the Chinner. Also for an important part is brewing off his teams as much as possible, so you still stay healthy. And if you did an overload on the first crystal phase, you can overload here. Overload triple brew, as you see. And everyone except Cross and Prep are gonna start on some, are not gonna start on some because of the horn. Same. If you're getting horn, you do insta maul. The Chinner is gonna do one shadow then maul. The BGSers are gonna do two shadow then BGS. The reason everyone starts on shadow is because this is still high defense, so you don't wanna side yet. We side after the specs, so for the same reason, after the mauls you switch to shadow. Also, as you see, only one person has to tank the first hit, so one of the person getting horn can just move to the side to not get hit, and then just start shadowing. Two shadows, then go melee side, and then back to my side, and it's insta set. After that, we can start sizing, because as you see, just after this little cycle is already 0 defense, so size are pretty good DPS now. And we like hybrid. I like to hybrid early, so you have like a little bit more control of when to stop hybriding. But yeah, I help out the melee as needed. As you see, there's now 2 people on the melee side and only 2 people running. So here is just good to finish damage. And now tbow, range throw, and one person that is high HP is tanking at the middle. The other 4 are just like making it stay middle, the head. so that way 4 people can evade hits and only one tank. CCB if you get it, but if the ulm is fast you usually don't get it in time. And that's it.